Are you looking to buy your first running watch? Do you enjoy running but want to take things to the next level by delving deeper into the training metrics? Or perhaps you've got your first race coming up and you just want to take things to the next level? We're here today to talk about the new Garmin Forerunner 165 GPS smartwatch and answer all your burning questions about this exciting new device. A few weeks ago, we asked you, our customers, what you most wanted to know about this new watch, and we're here today to answer all of those questions. And I'm here with Lydia, who's been using the Garmin Forerunner for a few weeks now, and we're really excited about this latest release, which is part of the new Forerunner series that features a new super bright AMOLED touchscreen display. So welcome, Lydia. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
I know you're a big Garmin fan, you've had Garmin watches in the past, so tell us a little bit about your training, your weekly routine and how you use your Garmin.
Yeah, so I have had a Garmin before. I absolutely love it. I never take it off. I sleep with it, I shower with it, I swim with it, absolutely everything. It's perfect, it's super simple to use. My old one wasn't a touchscreen, so I've now upgraded to this one, which is a touchscreen, which just makes everything so much easier.
So one of the things I really want to talk to you about is the daily metrics, okay? So the watch is getting to know a lot about you and your kind of running and what you're up to in daily life rather than just purely wearing it for performance. I know you wear it all the time. How long have you been wearing it now and how long do you need before it can track all that information?
I've been wearing this new watch now for about 10 days, so it doesn't quite have my sleep cycle and everything on there yet, but my old one did, so I sort of understand how that works. All the metrics are really easy and you can change the watch face, so I love having my steps and when the sun's going to rise, so I know when I can go out for my run. And then as I sort of scroll through, you can see like the battery life, my recovery, so I know when to sort of rest and have those periods of rest. I have my notifications, so I know when all my emails are coming through. And then I've got the weather and the music control, so if I go on that 5K, I can have Spotify on, listen to music, which is absolutely great.
So it's tracking your daily movements, it's learning about you. It takes about 19 days at least to remember that, and then from that, it then builds up a profile of you, and it helps you then prepare for races. So you've got somebody who's got the first race coming up, let's say it's your first 5K or 10K, you're going to plan that race in, and you can tell the watch, you can actually write into the app, can't you, about where the race is going to be, when it is, and also give it the GPX file and upload it so that the watch knows what you're going to be aiming for at the end of that month, say, for example. So this is where the Race Pro feature comes in. So one of the first things that I want to talk about is something called the Race Widget. So can you tell me more about that?
The Race Widget helps with any races coming up. I will be racing in Berlin at the end of the year. So I've got all of summer to sort of get ready and train for Berlin. What you can do is you can get the GPX file of Berlin Marathon and put it on the watch.
Yeah.
And then it sort of prepares you for that race. It'll get the training ready for the race, any paces that you need to have and the elevation. It'll know everything about where you're going to be racing. So it's super helpful and it'll build you up to get ready for that race as well.
So basically you're giving it as much information as possible and the device is actually coaching you, isn't it? Getting ready for that race, and it's telling you what to do, daily training wise, sessions, and it's monitoring how you're behaving during that month. And if you're doing a bit too much, it'll probably tell you to recover a little bit more. And if you're not doing enough, it'll probably tell you to work a bit harder, won't it?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't have a coach, so this is my coach. So it'll get me to the start line in Berlin.
That's amazing to know. We also have something called Pace Pro, don't we, as well? That's another feature. So that's talking about you pacing, not just during your training sessions, but it's more race focused, isn't it? So let's imagine you've got a race and, as you said, the elevation is different throughout that race. Let's say it's a trail race, a 10K trail race, and rather than telling you just to do one pace for the whole of the race, the same pace, how does the Pace Pro work when you're in a race?
I actually haven't tested it out in a race, but I tested it out the other day on a training run, and as you're going, it'll tell you 1 kilometre, or if you do it in miles, 1 mile. You can set that on your watch as well, and it'll tell you how fast you're going in that kilometre. You can change it to however you feel you want. If it's your heart rate you want to sort of monitor, or if it's your pace, you can do it by that. So when it actually comes to race day, you're used to that training, and it'll sort of warn you, oh, you're going too fast in this section, or you're going, keep going, speed it up a little bit.
And we live in the UK, and no race is pan flat, is it?
No, it's not.
And the good thing about this, I understand, is that if there is elevation within the race, it will work out how fast you need to do each section of the race, every kilometre. So if 1 kilometre is uphill, it won't say keep it at 6 minute mile pace or 6 kilometre pace.
No, it's not. It's not that sort of, oh, you've got 10k, every single k is going to be the same. As long as you put in what race you're doing and it knows the elevation, then it'll sort of even it out. So if you're going downhill, you're obviously going to bank some time there, and if you're going uphill, it's going to be a little bit more of a struggle. So bring that pace down a little bit.
So it's learning about you, it's learning about the race, and it's adapting that training
Yeah.
to suit everything that you're aiming for.
Exactly.
It's really clever.
Yeah, very clever.
So another feature, Lydia, is training effect, isn't it? And that is, understanding a bit more about your training and how hard you're working during your runs.
Yeah, definitely. It's really interesting to see sort of your zone 1 and zone 2. And this sort of comes into if you're doing intervals during the week or if you're going out for your long run on Sunday. I know that sometimes I can be quite bad on that long run, maybe I know there's a pace street at the end, I'm going a bit too fast. So it's good to sort of see, you went a bit too fast on that run. You want to keep it in zone 2, and your watch will sort of tell you that. It comes to the end of the run and it's like, you went a bit too hard, try and ease back. And the same with intervals. If you're not sort of picking up that pace, maybe you've had a long week, it's been stressful, it's like, you need to rest a bit, and it's understanding those differences in fitness and improving those.
Yeah, so it's helping you become a more efficient runner, and it's helping you to understand those different training zones, those anaerobic and aerobic efforts, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's really good for that.
Super important for a beginner.
Yeah.
So the next thing that people wanted to know was all about battery life and charging. So top line figures, we've got 11 days of charge on a daily use, we've got 19 hours on GPS, and we've got 7 hours on GPS with music.
Yeah, which is loads of time. Just sort of put that in context. If you were to run a marathon and listen to music, you have absolutely loads of time. It's not going to run out. You can do the whole thing. Yeah, I think with Berlin Marathon coming up, I might try some music.
Exactly. And does it solar charge?
No, it doesn't. Not this one.
And I know you don't like to take your watch off. So when do you charge your watch?
So with mine, I absolutely love charging it just before bed. I don't like taking it off because I love having all the data, especially my sleep data. So I always wear it when I go to sleep. So what I'll do is I'll take it off, and while I'm scrolling on my phone just before I go to bed, I'll pop it on charge, and then just before I go to bed, I'll put it back on and get all that sleep data.
And how long does it take to charge up?
It usually takes about an hour, but it all depends on your charger as well. So maximum 2 hours, so really fast.
Excellent. So really important question is around safety. Now I've set my mum up on my emergency contacts. I've done that in the actual app, so she knows whenever I'm going to go for a run, and she can track my movements, and also if there is an emergency, what happens.
Yeah, so I've done the same. I set my boyfriend up, and I know he's always asleep, but it's nice to know, peace of mind, that if something was to happen, then he will be pinged and he'll know where I am and how to get in contact with me.
It's important to remember you need your phone with you though as well, don't you? And you also need a signal for that to go through, which in most cases you're going to be. If you're running in the streets in a city or a town, or even in the countryside where you've got phone reception, then you can get that message across.
Yeah, exactly. I always keep my phone with me when I run for any emergencies anyways, but you do have to have your phone with you. Like when I travel, I absolutely love using the feature. If you hold down on the left and if you feel unsafe in a certain neighbourhood, then I'll do that, and it also pings, so you can carry on running. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be an emergency situation.
So you can manually activate that safety feature if you need to. Also, it has an incident detect feature on it as well, doesn't it? So if you fell, for example, the watch would know that you'd stopped abruptly, and it would send an emergency signal out to that contact after 5 seconds. And you can stop that from happening, obviously, because that has happened to me a few times. Yeah. But that's great to know that that feature is there. If you collapse for whatever reason, you lose consciousness, then that signal would go out to your emergency contact. So it helps you feel really safe and secure when you're out for a run.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, Lydia, let's talk about Multisport now. Is the watch waterproof?
Yes, it is. It's 100% waterproof for swimming and for showering.
Yeah, because I've got this thing where I don't like taking it in the shower, but it's waterproof. It's safe, isn't it? Yeah.
It is, yes. I love using it for cross-training as well as my running. I also swim and cycle. So with swimming, I go to a couple different pools. One of them's 25 metres and one of them's 50. So it's really useful. You can set how long the pool is, so it knows how many lengths you're doing. It doesn't do the same features as if you're going to do a track workout, so it doesn't have your swim workouts, but it knows how many lengths you're doing and how long you're doing that for, which is really interesting.
Okay, Lydia, we've talked about swimming. Are there any other sports that you would use this watch for?
Yeah, so I absolutely love when I'm training for any sort of race or just running in general. I like to give my legs a bit of a rest and go swimming. I love cycling as well, and then to sort of stretch out, I'll try and get some yoga in there. Along with that as well, I'm quite bad at stretching, so I like to put it on my watch and make sure I get that allotted time in, do my stretches, do my yoga, make sure my legs are ready for that run.
So it's fine to do all these different activities, but I suppose if you're serious about other sports, you're a triathlete, for example, and you're big into your cycling, that's when you probably need to upgrade to another watch, the 265, for example, and you could look into more detail about your training for those different sports.
Yeah, so for this watch, you can do the swimming and the cycling, but all as individual activities, whereas the watch that you're sort of talking about, that would be Multisport, so you'd go directly from that swim into the cycle, which you can't do on this watch.
That's great to know. So Lydia, let's talk now about apps. I know that this watch works with other third-party apps, but let's talk about Garmin Connect. How do you use Garmin Connect?
Yeah, Garmin Connect is absolutely brilliant. So I have it on my phone, super easy. After my run, pair my run with it, and you can see everything on there, my pace, my heart rate. It's all in one, which also pairs like my sleep. It's all in one place, which is brilliant. Usually what I do while I'm charging my watch before I go to bed, I'll get my phone up and I sort of go through what I'm going to be doing the next day, so I know what's in store for me and my run, and it's all in one place, which is brilliant.
Everything you need in one app.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it free?
It is free, yeah, which is great. You don't have to pay any subscription.
Fantastic. Okay, music and calls. Can you listen to music on your watch?
You can. You can listen to music on both of these. The one with music in its title, that one you don't have to bring your phone with you, so you can go out on a run without your phone, whereas this one, you can still listen to music. It doesn't have music in its title, but you have to bring your phone with you.
And what's the storage capacity of the music version?
So that one you get 4 gigabytes and about 1,000 songs.
Excellent. And also, can people call me whilst I'm running, and will I get a notification on the watch?
Yeah, you get notifications and you can take calls. All of the buttons you just follow along.
And Garmin Pay. I'm out for a run, I want a bottle of water, can I pay for it?
Yes, you can. It's all set up previously on the app, so you can go buy that bottle of water or chocolate bar if you want.
So using my watch, no need to carry that emergency tenner.
No, not at all.
Wow, amazing. Okay, so Lydia, what do you love most about this watch?
I absolutely love how much you can customise it. So as soon as I got this out of the box, I knew that I wanted some of the metrics on my phone. I wanted to immediately see how many steps I was going to do and when the sun was going to rise and what my last activity was. So I put that on my screen, and I can do that all on the watch. I don't have to use my phone to do that, and everything is all in one place, so I can see everything that I need to.
That's fantastic. And also, there's a feature on there where you can download your parkrun barcode app. So you can basically scan it and run.
Yeah, exactly. It's so easy.
Amazing. So just to position this watch, it's for the core runner, somebody who just runs, perhaps is new to the sport, beginner, entry level, who just wants the watch to track and all the data and the training.
Yeah, exactly. Running as well as other sports as well, it's great. It's great for everything.
So there we have it, folks, the new Garmin Forerunner 165 GPS smartwatch. It's available to buy now at SportsShoes.com. And remember, if you enjoyed watching this content, then please subscribe to our YouTube channel, SportsShoes.com.